Welcome to the Game Recap channel. Today we will review a short summary of the game CLAIR OBSCUR EXPEDITION 33. The game begins by showing Lumière, an alternative version of Paris, and smoothly introduces us to the main characters Gustave and Maëla. From their conversation, we learn that the giant numbers on the horizon are painted by an artist. When a number changes, everyone older than it vanishes. Next, Gustave takes a rose for Sophia, with whom he is in love. Having reached the festival, Maëla encourages Gustave. After descending, he meets Sophia. From their conversation, we understand that they are both hopelessly in love with each other, but they cannot be together because today Sophia must disappear, just like other people older than 33 years. Strolling through the festival, we see that everyone is trying to have fun, even though these will be their last hours. Moving toward the pier, Sophia meets her acquaintances who say goodbye to her. Upon reaching the fountain, we meet Maëla, who is helping children who have lost their parents. Afterward, we approach the pier where we are met by children who hand Gustave his uniform for the upcoming expedition. At Sophia's request, Gustave puts it on. Later, we see everyone coming to the pier in anticipation of the artist waking up and changing the number to one less. Then we see the artist rise and change the number from 34 to 33. After this, all people older than this number begin to disappear. Gustave holds his beloved until the very end, until she vanishes. Depressed by this, Gustave comes to a party for those who will set out on the next expedition. There, he is encouraged by his brothers-in-arms with whom he will go to destroy the artist. Talking with them, we learn that the artist appeared 67 years ago and began her countdown from the number 100, and after each year she decreased it by 1. We also learn that the inhabitants of Lumière send an expedition every year, consisting of those who have one last year left or volunteers to destroy the artist and stop this nightmare. After this, Gustave meets Maëla and tries to convince her to refuse the expedition because she is still young. Unable to convince her, Gustave meets his sister Emma to say goodbye to her before departure. After this, Emma gives a speech to encourage those who will set out on the expedition this year. Then all the inhabitants gather at the pier to see off our brave souls with honors, even though they understand that so far not a single expedition has managed the task set before them. After leaving Lumière, our heroes arrive at the lands of the artist, where they are met by an old man. Seeing him, we try to find out how he survived. However, instead of an answer, he begins to attack us. Creatures painted by the artist come to his aid. Gustave and his comrades flee from them in horror. In the chaos, Lucien saves Gustave but dies immediately. Resigned to death, Gustave takes the blow of the monster. Regaining consciousness, Gustave realizes that he managed to survive, which cannot be said for the other participants of the expedition. Searching for others, Gustave stumbles upon a giant pile of corpses of his comrades. This finally breaks his will, and he decides to leave this world. When he was already about to pull the trigger, Luna arrives and stops him. Then Luna encourages Gustave, and he reluctantly follows her. Moving further, they find a strange creature that does not attack them. From the journal of one of the expeditions, we learn that they found a way to communicate with the artist's creatures. While talking, we learn that this creature was also painted by the artist, but did not harm anyone. To find out more, Luna suggests finding the light it needs. Moving further, Gustave notices a tree on which a message is inscribed. From it, we learn a clue that could lead us to Maëla. Realizing that Maëla might be alive, Gustave ignores the rules and says he will go look for her, even if it is a trap. Having convinced Luna, they set out on their search. Having set up camp, Gustave apologizes to Luna for his selfish decision. Their further dialogue leads to nothing, and they argue. Ending the conversation on a positive note, they fall asleep. The next day, they reach a strange underwater temple, opening the doors of which pulls them into another space. After being transported, they find themselves in a manor where Gustave finds Maëla in one of the rooms. Then Gustave hugs her tightly and apologizes for not protecting her on the shore. Maëla calms him and says that the main thing is that they are both alive. After this, Maëla confesses that on the coast her eyes became clouded and after that she woke up here. Then we see a strange creature that helped Maela. When Maela says goodbye to the strange creature, we learn that his name is the Curator. After leaving the manor, our heroes meet a Gestrel who caught Luna's interest. Moving further, we reach a flower field where a monster attacks us when Gustav picks a red flower. Having defeated it, we realize that it was friendly but attacked because of the plucked flower. Then we see Maela's strange memories that seem like the future. Having returned to camp, Gustav comforts Maela and convinces her to run if the old man from the shore appears again. Maela agrees if Gustav does the same. After this, Gustav discusses with Luna the strange things happening here. In the end, they come to the conclusion that the only solution is to follow the mission. Having reached a valley with red trees, the Gestrel alarm system takes us for enemies, and we are forced to fight back. When we defeat both guards, we manage to enter the Gestrel village. In it, we meet the head of all Gestrels, the chief, who agrees to help us, but only after our victory in a tournament. During the conversation, the chief confesses that her name is Holgra and that the old man once attacked their settlement and they barely survived. Following the chief's advice, we perform at the tournament. When it is time for the final fight, we meet Ciel, who also survived. After the tournament, we decide to unite and move forward as a group of 4. Returning to the chief, we receive a clue as to where SQ is located and a password to reach him. After this, we leave the Gestral village. In camp, Ciel confesses that if not for us, she would have stayed in the Gestral village. While Ciel was shocked by the existence of the Gestrals and SQ, Maela seems to enter another space in which she sees an unknown woman and the old man who came to take her. When Maela returns to normal time, she is overcome with fear. Having realized what happened, the others begin to calm her. Moving on, Gustav shouts the password to a Gestral, who did not even know it. After this, Suniso lets us through, and Gustav asks his forgiveness for shouting at him. Next, we reach a lake into which SQ lands. Talking with him, we learn that he lost his Flory Stone. We make a deal with SQ, according to which he will help us cross the sea when we find his lost stone. In the first attempt to find Flory, we come to SQ's neighbor, a turtle that cannot move. Having received a stone from him, we return to SQ, but learn that it is not his Flory. To secure SQ's help, we continue the search. Then we see Maela's memories of her nightmare in which events appear that have not even happened yet. Having returned to camp, Gustav confesses to Maela that they are like family to each other. When everyone falls asleep, an unknown woman comes to Maela along with the old man. Having said goodbye to Maela, they disappear. Moving further, we find a giant wheel that was used by one of the expeditions. We also see SQ entering a fight. He turns out to be extremely strong. Ciel only adds that he is very lazy. Having reached a cave, we meet a lantern and begin a battle with it. We defeat it and throw it out of the cave. However, it survives and the fight continues. Having finally defeated it, we receive Flory, which SQ immediately takes. Now he is waiting for us to board him. Gustav and Maela linger and talk about life until the old man approaches them from behind. When Gustav tries to pick a flower, the old man attacks him. This shocks Maela, who tries to break through the barrier to help. Realizing the situation, Gustav begins a futile confrontation. He accumulates a charge and attacks with lightning. However, his hand cannot withstand the load. He manages to throw back the enemy, but the old man no longer yields and kills Gustav. Maela, shocked by this, destroys the barrier and runs to him. When the old man approaches her, he casts her soul away from her body. Having ended up in a strange space, Maela hears unknown voices. When she manages to leave it, she returns to reality. The old man approaches Maela, but a stranger appears and stops him. Thanks to him, Maela manages to escape from the cave and join the others. From the stranger's conversation, we learn that he is acquainted with the old man. Having returned to camp, Maela mourns Gustav when SQ comes to her and comforts her. Luna and Ciel also mourn Gustav. While they are resting, the stranger who saved Maela comes to the camp and returns Gustav's hand. From his words, we learn that he was once also part of an expedition, though he himself does not know how he remained alive. His name is Verso, and he wants to join us and help. Having joined us, Verso talks with SQ. From their conversation, we learn that they are acquainted, and also that they have a secret that we do not need to know about. After this, Verso tries to encourage Maela. However, she asks him to leave and cries over the loss of Gustav. The next day, our team reaches one of the shores where mountains of corpses lie. Maela insists on burying Gustav, and we set out to find a suitable place. Moving further, Maela is overcome by panic, and she does not understand why they should fight when everyone else is already dead. Ciel calms Maela when a duelist attacks them. Having fallen down, Luna heals Maela, and we enter a fight. Thanks to teamwork, we defeat the duelist. After this, Verso leads us into a valley with a large tree. Here we decide to bury Gustav. Then the team takes turns saying goodbye to Gustav and tells him their wishes. Having said goodbye, we return to camp. In camp, Verso says that he's acquainted with the friendly Gestral Monoco, and he can help us get to the old Lumiere, in the center of which is the artist's heart. Verso also says that when we destroy the heart, the protection around the artist will fall, and we will have the opportunity to attack her. Having finished the discussion, Luna has a frank conversation with Ciel. During this conversation, Luna reflects on herself and confesses that Ciel has become a true friend to her. After this, Luna speaks with Maela. When Maela asks how she can be just as confident, Luna replies that she does not know what to do at all and tries to follow the situation. Additionally, Luna confesses that when she uses chroma, she feels the fallen comrades. Having learned about this, Maela asks if she feels Gustav. Luna also confirms her suspicion. Next, Maela begins a conversation with Verso. During the conversation, they grow closer, and Maela gives him her expedition patch. The next day, we reach a mysterious train station where Monoko attacks Verso as a greeting. After this, Noko joins us, who also wants to get into the old Lumiere. In turn, Monoko suggests that we defeat Stalact. When the battle was over, Monoko eats a part of the monster and gains the ability to transform into it. Then Verso persuades Monoko to help them. Monoko agrees, and we set out on a journey. When we reach the entrance of the old city, Monoko decides to help us and open the way by becoming a monster. However, everything does not go according to plan, and our team is separated by a shockwave. In turn, Monoko deeply regrets his action. Having regained consciousness, Luna and Ciel calm him down, and we set off to find Maela and Verso. Moving deeper into the city, Ciel finds a mysterious stone that looks like the one SQ collects. After that, Luna finds the Journal of Expedition 58, with which Verso was associated. Having read the information from it, Luna becomes angry and asks Monoko if it is true. In turn, Monoko assures us that Verso will not harm Maela. Next, we see Maela together with Verso and Noko, and from Verso's gaze we understand that Maela is important to him. Moving further, we enter a fight after which Verso disappears. Searching for him, Maela reaches a garden with a manor. When Maela approaches it, the doors open, when suddenly Verso appears. Afterward, a strange woman in a mask and an old man come out of the manor. From Verso's conversation, we learn that the old man's name is Renoir, and he is Verso's father. Then Luna and Ciel appear, and we begin a battle with Renoir. When Renoir attacks with a final blow, everyone survives except for Noko. After this, Maela seemingly stops time and meets Verso's sister, Alisa. After their conversation, the manor disappears, and Renoir along with it. When our heroes return to camp, we question Verso as to why he told us nothing. In the end, we decide to trust each other. From Monoko, we learn that Noko can be brought back to life. However, it will be a different Noko, not the one we knew. From the records of Expedition 58, Luna learned that it is possible to create a weapon that will destroy the barrier around the artist. We turn to the curator for help with this. However, Verso stops us because to make this weapon, one needs to obtain a material found only in very dangerous monsters, from which it is even easier to die than from all the others we met before. The team still convinces Verso, and he suggests attacking the weakest of them. When the discussion was over, Verso tells Luna more about himself, and their relationship improves. Next, Verso speaks with SQ, who still cannot get the thought out of his head that he had already met Ciel before. Having convinced SQ that this is a feature of his perception, Verso begins a conversation with Maela. During this conversation, Verso confesses that the strange masked woman is his sister, and he thought that this time she would also help him. However, it turned out not to be so. The next day we reach a strange island where faces are everywhere. Going deeper, we see strange masks that do not attack us. After them, a strange creature appears before us that holds the masks. He offers us to complete the challenge of this island. Next, we explore the island when we come across the Mask of Sorrow. This mask begins a battle with us. When we defeat it, we realize that by destroying it, we have caused harm to the creature we came to this island for. Moving further, we find the Mask of Wrath. When we defeat it, it explodes and causes damage to the main body. Moving further, we encounter the Axon of Masks and enter a fight. When we defeat him, a mysterious mask holder appears and picks up the mask that fell from the previous monster. Seeing this, we realize that he is the true Axon. Resisting him, we fall under his influence. However, Ciel breaks free and finishes him off by removing the mask. Having obtained the mask, we return to camp where the curator asks that Maela specifically hand over the mask to him. When Maela hands over the mask, she sees Renoir for a second. Next, Verso plays for Maela, and she unexpectedly realizes for herself that she knows this melody, even though she is hearing it for the first time. While they play, SQ dances to their composition. The next day we head to the next Axon, a siren who dazes us with the dance of her puppets. Monoko releases us from her influence, and we move further, where we come across Tisser, who sews all the clothes for her. Having defeated him, we reach the siren, who shows us an illusion with our loved ones. After this, the siren begins a battle with us. While the others cannot move, Luna gets closer and destroys the siren with a burst of chroma. Having obtained the second fragment for the weapon, we return to camp where Maela hands the fabric over to the curator. This time she sees a woman who looks like the curator. This traumatizes her. Afterward, the curator creates a sword which he hands to Maela. Having obtained the weapon with which we can destroy the protection around the artist, Ciel suggests celebrating and takes Verso's alcohol supplies from SQ. After this, Verso steps away to put his thoughts in order, where his sister Alicia approaches him and hands him a letter. Then Renoir joins them and persuades his son to make the right decision, after which Verso is left alone. The next day we reach the barrier, which Maela destroys using the obtained sword. Having destroyed the barrier, we move toward the entrance where the giant body of the artist is located. Starting a battle with her, we realize that she does not react to our attacks at all. Then Maela tries to approach her when a woman similar to the curator appears, causing everyone except Verso to feel as if they are burning. When the woman disappears, everything returns to normal, and we realize it was an illusion. Verso orders us to follow this woman. Following her, we enter a monolith. Advancing through it, we come across the artist's memories, from which we learn that she has children whom she taught to draw. From other memories, we learn that the artist's name is Aline. Having reached the railway, we move further by boarding a train. Continuing the journey, we reach the last memory, after which Renoir appears and tries one last time to convince his son to make the right choice. However, Verso decides to stay on our side, and we begin a battle. When we defeat Renoir, he recovers as if nothing had happened and suppresses us with a giant amount of chroma. Then the curator appears and, with Maela's help, erases Renoir. After this, the curator disappears. Maela completes her revenge. Having gained hope, we head to the portal. Moving further, we find the artist, who looks like the curator. The artist recognizes her daughter Alicia in Maela. However, when Verso refuses his mother, she attacks us, and we begin a battle. After the first battle, the artist summons her giant body, and Verso returns the stone to SQ, with which we will be able to fly on him. Having mounted SQ, we continue the battle with the artist. Having defeated her, Verso holds her in his arms until she leaves this world. Toward the end, Maela touches her and hears the name Alicia, which changes her for a second. After this, we rejoice at the completion of the expedition and plant a flag as a symbol of our victory. When the artist and the numbers vanished, we returned to Lumiere. Upon landing, the residents meet us and congratulate us on the victory. Maela gives Gustav's sister his diary. After this, Verso sits on the pier and reads a letter from his sister. From it, we learn that Alicia was tired of everything and that she wanted Verso's choice to be right. Having finished reading, Verso throws the letter away as everyone begins to disappear. This shocks Maela, who is the last to vanish. After this, Maela sees a memory with Verso and wakes up as Alicia. Having reached the hall, Maela meets her sister Clea, who looks like Ciel. Talking with her, we learn that her mother Aline entered Verso's canvas to be with him in at least some way. However, her father Renoir followed her to stop her. Clea confirms our suspicion that Verso is dead in reality. With Clea's help, Maela enters Verso's canvas, in which she recalls memories of her parents from Maela's life. After this, Maela meets Verso and tries to convince him that he is not to blame for what happened. Then we meet the curator, who is the true father of Verso and Maela. Taking his true form, he tries to convince Maela that it is necessary to let go of the past and destroy Verso's canvas. Maela is against this, and using her powers, she brings SQ and Monaco back to life. Together, they escape from Renoir to their camp. In the camp, Verso explains to Maela how to correctly use her powers, and she brings Luna and Ciel back to life. Having returned, they scold Verso because he told them nothing. In turn, Verso tries to regain the lost trust. Reflecting on what to do, Luna suggests obtaining chroma from other expedition members who died here. Maela agrees, and the next morning we travel across the island and, with Maela's help, gather an army to oppose Renoir. When the preparations are finished, we return to Lumiere, where Maela summons her army. With their help, we manage to reach Renoir. Upon meeting, Renoir tries to convince Maela that she needs to let go of the past and live in the present. However, Maela does not listen to him, and we begin a battle with him. During this battle, we learn that it was Renoir who created the axons to oppose the artist, and that it took him 67 years to defeat her. When we have almost lost, the giant body of the artist comes to our aid. With her help, we manage to defeat Renoir. Having lost, Renoir confesses that the artist also helped him when he nearly died. However, now she has decided to take our side. Finally, Renoir reveals that it was Verso who created this world, and he also created SQ and Monaco. Having listened, Maela confesses that she lost everything in reality, and here she can live without unnecessary restrictions. Before disappearing, Renoir shows what happened to his wife after Verso's death. Maela finally manages to convince her father, and he returns to the real world, leaving the choice to her. Having heard this, Verso passes through the portal, where he finds a little boy drawing. Realizing that this is himself from reality, Verso wants to end this and set himself free. However, Maela comes to him and stops him. Because of this, a battle arises between them, as a result of which Maela kills Verso. Finally, Verso says that he does not want such a life, which deeply hurts Maela. When Verso dies, we see how Maela has changed the world using her powers. In it, Maela brings everyone back to life, where everyone is alive and happy. When Verso looks at Maela, we realize that she has become the new artist and rules this world, despite the fact that Verso, like her father, asked her to leave the past behind and live in reality. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video on the Game Recap channel.